I'm back in the tent to read to you some more. Today is International Women's Day, which also happens to be the birthday of Tracy Andrews, who is the main character of this book that I wrote, A Dazzle of Zebras. I thought, in honor of International Women's Day and Tracy's birthday, I would read you the chapter where she has a big party and everything goes super and nothing goes wrong and there are no embarrassing moments. So, let's get started. Chapter 28. I'm just gonna skip a little bit. Speaking of themes, since my birthday falls on March 8th, also known as International Women's Day, the theme for the party is women. Everyone has to dress up as their favorite woman. I'm dressing up as my mom, Sam says as we wait outside for class to start the day before the party. She's my inspiration. Well, that plus I can just borrow one of her cardigans' super low effort costume. I'm going to make a bold statement here. I would consider officially moving Sam from the rank of Spanish buddy to that of actual friend. I mean, we hang out sometimes outside of class, we talk about things other than Spanish, and we know personal details about each other's lives, like the fact that he has watched 101 Dalmatians at least once a week, every week of his life since he was 7, minus 1 week when he was on vacation and there was no Wi-Fi. He lowers his voice. Is Rahi coming? My stomach lurches, but I try to answer lightly. I'm not sure, maybe. But despite my nonchalance, this has been all I've thought about for days. Is he coming to the party? Does he still like me? Which college is he going to? Will we see each other on breaks? Will we be married in springtime or in June? I'm getting way ahead of myself, and it's awful, but I cannot help it. I'll just ask him if he's going. He nods behind me, but right as he shouts Rahi's name, the bell rings and drowns him out. Stop. I poke him repeatedly in the ribs, prodding him into the classroom. You're mean when you're defensive, he says, climbing over my seat to get to his. Rahi trails behind us. He says hi to Sam and flashes his eyebrows at me. This has become our new daily greeting, as our acquaintanceship slowly knits itself back together, all loopy and uneven because of the incident. The incident was that Rahi asked Tracy out, and she said no. It's really sad. Still, it's something. I'd rather have strained friendship Rahi than no Rahi at all. Of course, I would much rather have smooches and giggling Rahi than strained friendship Rahi, but nope. Don't do that, Tracy. Don't do it. I will not get my hopes up. I will not get my hopes up. I write it 50 times in the margins of my conjugation notes, but I'm afraid the only part that's sinking in is get my hopes up, get my hopes up, get my hopes up. Scene break. I wake up at 5 the morning of the party. I don't think Sophia would be overly pleased if I showed up at her house right now, so I sit on the windowsill, as is my way. This time, though, I fall back asleep. It's never happened on one of my windowsill mornings. Maybe I'm growing up. I wake up again with my face pressed to the screen. There'll be a miniature waffle print on my cheek for sure, and check my phone. It's now 10:36, and that, I believe, is an entirely reasonable time to show up at your friend's house with 8 tons of crepe paper and a life-size cardboard cutout of an old-timey lady that Cass had custom-made for my birthday, which is exactly what happens. Sophia doesn't look the slightest bit surprised when she opens the door, and she shouldn't, after 6 years of best friendship, but instead perches a bagel atop my cardboard box of fun and asks, "Who's your friend?" I scoff. Only the first woman elected to Congress? Jeanette Pickering Rankin? JPR? Oh, right, she says, her face blank. I am shocked I did not recognize her. So am I. She was voted in twice, 1916 and 1940, but that was the first and last time Montana voted a woman into Congress, so good job, Montana, but also a pretty bad job. Sophia places a foil birthday crown on my head and plies me with baked goods, I suspect in an attempt to slow me down a little with the added weight. Normally this would be a food dream come true, but not today. Too excited. As soon as we hear the car door slam in the driveway, I shriek, leap to my feet, and run to the door. I yank the others inside without even a greeting and set them all to work. So, I say casually as I direct them in the hanging of a banner that says, "Women, women, women." Anyone happen to know if Rahi's planning to be at the party? Nick and Alfie exchange a look. I resist the urge to ask what it's about. I'm not sure, Sophia says carefully. What? What? Nick says. Guys, I say, it's fine. It's not going to bother me either way. He can come, he cannot come, either way. I'm cool. You do sound very cool, Sophia says, and because it's my birthday and she's required to be nice to me, I'm going to assume she's being completely honest. Another scene break. Admittedly, I haven't been to that many parties in high school, but I'm pretty sure this one rules. My stock photo of women laughing at salad costume is pretty popular, not to brag or anything. Sophia and I cooked up a mountain of tater tots, and Alfie has deigned to play songs people actually know, including a lot of Britney Spears, which is appropriate since that's who he dressed up as. Several entertainers are here, actually. Sophia is dressed as Ariana Grande, And Penny has basically embodied Katharine Hepburn. 4 Frida Kahlos have already taken a picture together, and Emma and Chelsea make just about the cutest Ginny Weasley Hermione Granger I have ever seen. But I think the best costumes are more concepts than actual women. For instance, Nick has transformed himself into Lady Liberty, with his face painted aquamarine to match his hair. I want him to dress like this always. It's how he was born to look. I'm just heading to collect the tater tot tray for a refill, when who should roll in but Mr. Kickball, with a red scarf draped over a long dark wig. He's flanked by a couple of his friends, and greets people as he makes his way through the party. He seems to know almost as many people as Penny. From the patio, his gangly friend Griggs calls his name and beckons him outside. I catch sight of my face in the mirrored back of Mrs. Guerrera's china cabinet, and the only way to describe my expression is moony. So clearly that needs to stop. I've been ogling him so hard that I don't react right away when he spots me and waves. He shouts something. Grabby dirt snakes? No, probably not. Regardless, it jars me so much that I back behind Parker just to get out of his line of sight. What are you doing? Parker asks me, ignoring my efforts to get him to just be cool for once. In his impatience, Griggs all but carries Rocky outside, where more people cheer his name when they see him. I drift over to the sliding glass door and watch him, surrounded by people underneath the scrub oak, illuminated by a string of cafe lights. Such a dreamy scene. So romantic. Listen, I get it. We're friends. All the love stuff between us dissolved after I freaked out at the fire drill. If that's the case, however, then it is terribly inconvenient that every time I see him, all the blood in my body heats up about 10 degrees and my stomach shifts and heaves like the intrepid Pequod. It's just that he's really sweet. I can't help that I notice his sweetness. And all of this, I don't know, it all feels like destiny maybe. Tonight, on my birthday, with the moon and the lights and the tater tot setting the mood, it's going to happen. I know it. I can talk to him now. I can tell him how I feel, with words, from my mouth. I know I can. Just not right this second. Right this second, it's time for me to full-on sprint into the kitchen. Guys, I say as I skid to a stop. Alfie is sitting by himself at the table, blonde wig cast haphazardly aside. He glances around the otherwise empty room. Yeah? Where is everyone? There. He gestures around vaguely. What's up? He's Malala. Who is? He came, and he's here, and he's Malala, and I'm sitting here laughing at vegetables like an idiot. Who are you talking about? Rahi! Oh, man, that's a really good costume. Well, he just better hold on to his butt. I'm gonna make out with him so friggin' hard tonight. So hard his butt falls off? What? You said, Alfie, I don't have time for this. I race to the bathroom to check my makeup, by which I mean I give myself a pep talk. It goes like this. Tracy! Oh, lordy, do you have a primo opportunity here, lady. Second chances like this do not come around often, so you cannot mess this up. You hear me? Do not mess this up for us. Be cool, okay? I know that doesn't come naturally to you, and I know people will tell you just to be yourself or whatever, but this is not the time to simply hope that another person will find your ridiculous antics endearing. This is the time to be cool. You gotta say words, and they gotta make sense, and you gotta make eye contact while you say those words at a reasonable human volume. Don't claw mud. You can do it. I have faith in you. For the most part. You ready? Yeah, I tell the mirror. Go get him, champ, the mirror says back. But that was a lie. I am not ready. Nothing could prepare me for this moment, least of all a pep talk from me, the person who got me into this situation in the first place. But I'm the best I've got, so that'll have to do. I leave the bathroom, double back, check to make sure there's nothing in my teeth, and then head out again, for real this time. I force myself to swing my arms naturally as I make my way down the hall. This is fine. It's all fine. I can't feel my legs, but it'll be fine. I'll just be like, oh, hey, Rahi. I didn't know you'd be here. Great costume. Yeah, she's an inspiration to all of us, for sure. What's that? You like my costume, too? You think I'm clever and great, and you think about me when you can't sleep at night? Well, quelle coincidence. It turns out... Wait, hang on. I'm thinking all this in an accent. Is that Irish? Nope, it's Southern. So, okay, I just have to make sure that in addition to speaking like a human being, I should also go ahead and make sure it's not in a weird accent. And here we are again at the sliding glass door. Showtime. He's out there still, under the scrub oak. He has his back to me, talking to someone. My feet are broken. I can't move them. That's fine, though. I'll just give them a minute. Someone slides open the door. They have to edge around me. Sorry, friends. Broken feet, you understand. I put my hand out to stop them from closing the door. Rahi laughs an unfamiliar laugh, sort of tinny. Since when did he get a new laugh? When he shifts, I can see he's talking to a girl. She's smiling at him. She's pretty. Dark hair, perfectly wavy. I don't think she dressed up as anyone, though. I should kick her out for that. Unless she's supposed to be a supermodel I've never heard of. She could pass for a supermodel. As I watch, She reaches her hand up to his cheek and slides it around to the back of his neck. What the hell? Was passiert gerade? Everything goes still around me. My vision feels off. My peripherals are closing in. She pulls his face close to hers. An odd, swooping sensation starts in my gut and travels up through my throat. It stings my eyes. Their faces grow closer. Her lips part. She drops her eyelashes. She does that thing where she pauses for a second and smiles a little before putting her mouth directly on Malala's mouth. His beautiful, shockingly symmetrical mouth. She puts her other hand on his back. My ears are buzzing like they're made out of bees. Just outside the door, someone shoves someone else. The guy trips, and instead of the glass door stopping his fall, he stumbles through the open doorway into me, and we both topple over. All the air leaves my lungs. The guy scrambles up and apologizes. He asks if I'm okay. He asks again. I don't respond. This feels like one of those dreams where everyone is speaking another language, and you can't understand anything they're saying. But I don't want or try to understand. I ignore him. It's cool here on the tile. Eventually, the breath comes back to me. Someone picks me up and carries me out of the kitchen, away from the sliding glass door, away from the backyard and the lights and the scrub oak tree. The air smells like apricots. Nick totes me up the stairs and tries 2 rooms before he finds an empty one. By now, he's muttering in annoyance and starting to huff. He sets me down on the carpet in the 3rd room. I lie flat on my back again, since that seemed to work pretty well for me before. He stands at my feet for a moment, watching me. I close my eyes. He walks around and lies down, so that the tip of his head meets the tip of mine. That's all what happened, he says. Sucks. Yep. I don't know if I say that out loud or not. I open my eyes and look around the room. We're in Sophia's mom's office. It's nice up here. I can hardly hear the party at all. I pull in a long breath. This is why you keep your head down, Nicholas. I don't know. Poking my head up worked out pretty well for me. He quickly adds, that was insensitive. I didn't mean... No, it's okay. I'm happy for you and Soph, honestly. Thanks. But okay then. Maybe it works for some of us, but look what happens when I try to stand out. It's too risky, man. He snorts. Do you really think you did such a great job of not standing out before this year? What do you mean? My tone is defensive. I'm sorry if you don't want to hear this, but people notice you no matter how much you try to hide. I gasp. You take that back. I'm an expert at social camouflage. I have a PhD from the University of Not Being Noticed. They call me Dr. Invisible. Yeah, you camouflage about as well as a zebra in a herd of flamingos. This guy, am I right? Flamboyance, I say. What? A group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. Don't change the subject. You know I'm right. I will never admit that out loud. But, fine. Maybe I can't hide completely. But it's safer, so much safer to try. If no one notices you, then you don't have to worry about whatever unforeseen and potentially painful events will occur afterward. After a long time, my mouth opens on its own and asks, who was that girl anyway? Was she even invited? Benny probably knows her. Probably. Then a sickening thought clutches at my stomach and I whisper, what if it's Miranda Rathbone? Who? Nicholas! She's Rahi's ex-girlfriend. You know, the one with the diamond eyelashes and honey lips and ambrosia earwax. She sounds gross and sticky. And anyway, Penny never would have invited Rahi's ex-girlfriend to your birthday party. He could have invited her. If he did that, he's an asshole. He's kind of an ass for kissing someone else at your birthday party at all, regardless of who she is. It's maddening to hear Nick say something sensible twice in the span of 10 minutes, but he's probably right. That probably wasn't Miranda Rathbone. Miranda Rathbone is probably just a manifestation of my insecurity, and I should probably stop making up ridiculous claims about her, even if it has become my favorite hobby. Although, if that wasn't Miranda Rathbone, that means Rahi kissed someone he doesn't even have a history with, someone new, on my birthday. So, clearly he's moved on from his crush. We lie there on the floor a little while longer. And by a while, I mean I don't really know how long we spend there. I'm so sleepy, and this carpet is so nice and plush, and this has been an unusually difficult party. All parties are difficult, obviously, in that you are willingly putting yourself in a situation where expectations are high and emotions are volatile. Does anyone think that's going to end well? Has anyone been to a party where nothing goes poorly and nobody has a meltdown? I have not. But out of all the parties I've been to, this has been the worst. I feel like I've betrayed the women by letting unrequited love affect my enjoyment of this otherwise delightful evening. Although, I suspect they might understand. Especially Jeanette Pickering Rankin, that saucy minx. We're still lying like this when Sophia quietly opens the door. She stands in the doorway for a moment, smiling sadly at me. I smile back with my eyes closed, so I don't have to see the pity in her expression. The door shuts, and at first I think she's left the room, but then she lies down between us with her head next to ours. She squeezes my hand. Sometime later, the door opens again, Penny joins us on the ground. Alfie slips inside soon after, but he sits on a chair by the window. What are you doing? Sophia whispers. There's no room, he says. Just shove in. I shift toward Sophia to give him space. He scoots in next to me and nuzzles my shoulder a little when he puts his head down. We stay this way for a long time. I don't know how long. I don't much care. It doesn't matter. This is a great party. I'm having a wonderful time. Thank you for listening. And why not go out and treat yourself for International Women's Day and buy this book? Or, request it from your library. Or, steal it. Thank you for watching. Happy International Women's Day! Hooray!